So the latest chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen, chapter 267, we're calling it Disney Kaisen. And spoilers here, because Nobara came back. And the whole internet is going wild saying, well, if this was any other anime or manga, everybody will be making fun of the anime saying it's Disney Kaisen. But I guess the Jujutsu Kaisen fandom are hypocrites because they're not doing the same thing that they were doing for something like, for example, My Hero Academia or Boruto or Black Clover and all these other anime that have the Disney moniker attached to them. Disney Clover, Disney Peas. I mean, we got every anime that you can think of. You can probably add some Disney into it because, again, the major thing is that a lot of the characters either come back from death, they don't die, so on and so on. So let's actually talk about this because this has to be one of the worst takes in anime and manga history. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now, the biggest mistake that JJK haters are making right now is assuming that Nobara was dead, when in the reality of things, we never got confirmation that she was dead. Like, yes, they did say, oh, she's not breathing, but I got her out as soon as possible. She got help. It's like in our real world scenario where we do CPR. Like, if you stop breathing, doesn't necessarily mean that you're dead and you're not coming back, right? CPR exists. Now, put this in a fantasy world where they got reverse curse technique, right? Like, stop breathing is probably the least of their worries, right? Like, he literally said, like, yeah, she doesn't have a high chance of surviving, but she's not dead 100%. Like, we don't know. We just have to wait and see. So the fact that you took that and you assumed that she was dead, that was your biggest mistake, because we're dealing with a manga anime that when somebody dies, we know they died, right? Like when Nanami died, and we're gonna get into heavy spoilers here in the manga, when Gojo died, when Choso died, when all these big characters died, there was no second guessing those deaths. Like, Gege Akutami wrote his manga in a way that conditioned you to know when a character dies, right? Unlike other popular shonen manga, right? Like, it's the reason why, when My Hero Academia, and again, we're going to be talking spoilers here, whenever Bakugo got pierced by those little sticks, and a lot of people were saying, Bakugo is going to die. I'm like, well, clearly you haven't read a lot of shonen manga. Because no, he's not dead, right? Like, I called it, and I'm sure millions of other people called it, that he is not dead, right? And long and behold, the next chapter, he was not dead, right? The same thing happened with Deku, right? Deku lost, like what? Like both legs or something crazy like that? Deku's gonna die. Next chapter, he got him back. You know what I mean? Bakugo, oh, his heart blew up. He's dead. Well, next chapter, no, he's not. Gina saved him, right? There's a difference, a clear difference here than what happened with Jujutsu Kaisen, because not once was Nobara confirmed to be dead, and every character that, gets blown up, they lose their heart, whatever the case, get cut in half, whatever the case may be, they're not coming back. They're dead. Now, I will say, I am coping a little bit, and I am hoping that Gojo comes back. You know what I mean? Like, we got 4 chapters left, but I do not care. I hope that man comes back and puts the work into Sukuna. But I digress, right? And, the same thing applies with, like, something like Naruto, Black Clover, right? We all seen their respective war arcs, and really, either a bunch of nameless characters die, like, Soldier 1, Soldier 2, or, maybe one at most major side character, right? Like, for example, in Naruto with, Neji, or in the thing of, like, something like Fairy Tail or Black Clover, nobody. You know what I mean? There's a clear difference, right? Now, the other thing is that I see a lot of people also using the author, right? Gege Akutami confirmed that Nobara died in Shibuya. You cannot be serious. Like you cannot be serious, right? Like, one, he never said that, right? Like, he kind of insinuated it a little bit, you could argue. But at the end of the day, the author is not going to sit here and spoil the biggest probably plot twist that we have seen from the good guys and tell you, oh, no, yeah, Nobara's going to come back. Just wait, right? When we have 4 chapters left in the manga, she's going to come back. You really think he's going to tell you that in an interview? Come on now. I mean, using that logic, how come Oda hasn't revealed what the One Piece is? You know what I mean? No author is going to tell you what the plot twist or what character's gonna come back, so on and so on. I mean, I hope that makes sense, right? Like, I hope people are not really using that argument and actually expecting people to believe that, right? Because at that point, we got bigger issues than, if X character came back in Jujutsu Kaisen, right? Then, of course, we got the other haters saying, oh, Nobara, she has been missing in, you know, from the manga for like 2 years. I'm like, yeah, because again, this is a piece of fiction that we get every week, and of course Gege Akutami also takes off a week here and there. And you know, in the world, in the in time of the world, it's only been what, like anywhere from 1 to 3 months maximum. So yeah, that's a horrible excuse as well, right? Again, when it comes to Jujutsu Kaisen and something, for example, like Demon Slayer, right? There's a clear distinction between the two, right? For example, they say in Jujutsu Kaisen, Sukuna is the most dangerous curse that has ever lived, the most powerful sorcerer in their time, like back in the Heian era. Like, Sukuna is somebody that you don't mess with. And guess what happened when they messed with Sukuna? Characters started dying, right? Same thing with Demon Slayer, right? We got Michael Jackson being the strongest demon ever, right? And guess what? When they were fighting the strongest demon ever and all the upper moons, we lost characters because they set a precedent. These characters are dangerous, and when you deal with a dangerous situation, you might not make it out alive. And that's again a big difference compared to something like, for example, Naruto. Oh, the deadliest ninja war that has ever happened. But if you were a named character, you have a 99.99% chance of surviving. My Hero Academia, same thing. The biggest war the villains and heroes have ever done. And again, it's one of those wars that has a 99.99% chance survival rate, which is just insane. Like, war and survival should not be in the same sentence, right? Like, if you go to war, you are expected to not come back. That's just the reality of things, right? And of course, this is a shonen manga, so that's one of the biggest issues that shonen mangas have, right? They never really want to kill off their popular characters, right? And again, that's somewhere where Jujutsu Kaisen sets themselves apart, because Gege Akutami literally killed their most popular character in the series, Gojo, right? And that's why there's a lot of people that want him to come back, because they really do love that character, and they of course want to see that character, you know, win. They want to see that character be happy, so on and so on. And yes, again, like I said, I'm still hoping that he's coming back. But yeah, the people that are saying that Nobara is, you know, Disney because she came back, again, she never left to begin with. So your argument is already dead before it even started. Again, it's not even the same, right? Like, even if we were to just give in and say, you know what, she was 100% dead and they used the Dragon Balls to bring her back, so what? You know what I mean? So let the good guys get a win. Let the good guys get a little bit of plot armor, right? Because imagine, a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, we were literally saying that Sukuna has plot armor. Sukuna has more plot armor than the main characters, because the way that he was dealing with every situation, every trap that was thrown at him, he found a way to get out of it. Just like the best sorcerers, the best curse would know how to get out of it, because he has a deeper understanding of the power system, right? So it all made sense, right? But now that the heroes get a little bit of plot armor, we get mad, right? Please, you know what I mean? Anyways, I will say, if there's one criticism that I will accept when it comes to Nobara, you know, is the timing of it all, right? Like, she woke up 30 minutes to when, you know, she did what she did to essentially hit Sukuna from far away. Like, yes, the timing of that is absolutely kind of like, dang, you know what I mean? The stars align for this very moment. And I feel like that's because Gege Akutami, I think he wrote himself into a corner a little bit, right? Because yes, Sukuna, he's just way too strong for the verse. And even when Gojo lost to him, that's when they lost all hope. And heck, every time they did something, he was able to escape it. And now, at the very end of the fight, you know, Itadori has domain expansion, which is okay. But even with domain expansion, I don't think Itadori could have won against Sukuna, right? So I feel like that's where maybe Gege Akutami, you know, he saw his way out with Nobara. And maybe he even saw it way back when he was riding Shibuya, right? But regardless, her coming back is definitely not Disney. Definitely, you know, you don't have to like it, but please do not compare Jujutsu Kaisen with the actual Disney other shows that are out there, right? Because yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen doesn't play that game, and we still haven't made it to the end of the manga, right? Me knowing Sukuna, and this is a little theory right here, I promise you, he's gonna take at least one more character with him. Like, there's no way Sukuna is gonna die next chapter, like in the first page. There's no way the chapter is gonna begin with and Sukuna lost, right? Like, they just punch him a couple more times and boom, he's dead. No. Sukuna is not done yet, and I promise you, he's going to at least take one more person with him. Whether that be Itadori, or somehow he finds his way to Nobara, and then he actually kills her there. I don't know how. I don't know when. but he's gonna do it. You heard it here first. But let me know what you think. Do you think Nobara coming back is Disney? Do you think it compares to other characters, like, for example, Bakugo coming back twice? Or Naruto with Baryon mode, where they literally said, oh, we're gonna die, but then next chapter, no, it's just me. And then 10 chapters later, Kurama came back. Like, no, come on, you know what I mean? Like, yes, you can explain it, but just because you can explain it doesn't mean it's actually good, right? But let me know what you think. And like always, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace out. Bye.